See this truck here, doesn't really know what it's like to get a truck yet. It's just Mo uses it to showcase the Pro Power on board. So we took the blades out so he doesn't really finger, but he powers things, and then I believe it probably gets plugged in with the other trucks from time to time to get charged. And but it's never really been on the track or done any mileage. I don't think it really knows what 100 miles is.
Those are the XLT Lariat. Okay. And then the Pro, or the XL, the XL.
I know it's just when it's plugged in, like the reverse charge if your power goes out in your house.
Exactly, yeah. It would have to be plugged into that 80 amp charge station Pro.
And then how long?
They say it'll power your house for up to 3 days, but if you're using
not everything, like air conditioner.
they say if you use your power very sparingly, it can power it up for up to 10 days. So I believe it should be on fairly regular usage in terms of the 3 days. And then, yeah, they said it'll go 10 days with the extended range battery, and then it would still work with the standard range battery, but the standard range battery obviously would be for less time, and it doesn't come with that charger. So the charger comes automatically with the extended.
And then if you're looking at pricing and want to go into just see the regular gas trucks, everything's going to be pretty much comparable besides the batteries, right? As far as features and stuff, like the XLT versus the Lariat.
Yeah, like the way and they haven't made it official in terms of the finalizing the order bank. I would just assume that for Lightning, there's going to be less options. Like if you go into an XLT, it'll resemble an XLT 302A if you're looking at the gas truck, which is kind of the highest package. Same thing with the Lariat. It would resemble a Lariat with the 502A package, which is kind of the. So you'll still have some options you can add onto it, but I don't think it'll come as stripped down from at the bottom of each trim level.
No worries. I appreciate it. On the keypad on the other side to get in, that's standard on the roll, not just the Lariat.
Yeah.
So, cool. Thank you.
All right, I got my list of questions.
Awesome.
Are you ready? So I'm seeing running boards on the Pros that are running around on the track. Are those going to be standard, or is that going to be an option? Because I think on the spec sheet I've seen, there weren't running boards for the Pro.
Yeah, so in terms of the exact order guide, they haven't finalized anything in terms of what's going to be standard, what's going to be, so I couldn't tell you exactly for sure. These are all hand-built prototypes, so they're probably not the best representation of what...
Gotcha. It's the same thing, cloth interior for the Pro, is that going to...
I think it was more of a vinyl on the Pro.
It is a vinyl in the Pro, but I didn't know if there's going to be a cloth option that might be available, because here in South Florida, vinyl gets sticky and hot. And
I hear you. I can't for sure confirm if there will be. I know that for sure. Obviously, when you get into XLT, that's normally where it's going to be cloth, and Lariat it'll be leather. I believe this will be the same, but I haven't seen anything to indicate differently.
Gotcha. So I noticed you got the 12-volt battery in the frunk.
Yes.
And you got a powered frunk.
Yes.
So what happens when the battery dies? How do you open the frunk?
Good question. I believe it's I know typically we've always had that where like if the 12 volt dies, how do you get into the vehicle? There's the little key that comes out of the key fob to open the door. So I haven't played with this enough to know. I'm assuming if you can probably get into the door and just release the release from the interior, because I know that they are
like the hood release on a ICE vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure that was a question. Is the work surface in the armrest going to be available on the Pro?
Yes.
Yes? But it's not standard?
I don't know what standard.
Yeah, again, you don't know the configuration,
sure,
right.
But I do, from what I can understand, they're all going to be essentially the captain's chairs in the front, which will have the fold-down work surface.
The fold-down work surface? Okay, cool. So you already said that you can get the 80 amp charger to get the whole home backup with the standard range battery. It's just not going to have that same staying power.
It won't last as long, but yeah, you would. It just doesn't come with the battery automatically. It comes with the extended, but they haven't finalized pricing yet. But I would assume it'll be in the $1,200 range, something like that. And you could, and like I said, if it'll power your house, the 300 mile targeted range for up to 3 days. If you have 230 miles, I'm assuming it's going to give you over a couple days, and that's a fairly regular usage.
So those range estimates, are those with the load in the bed, or is that?
They're not loaded from what it's basically the EPA 5 cycle test. So again, I don't know exactly how much weight if they could consider it with full occupancy, so that may be where the 1,000 pounds comes from. But I know from our Ford, basically one of the marketing folks that was with us a few cities ago, he said it wasn't pulling or hauling anything. It was just done according to the same 5 cycle EPA testing that they would do on internal combustion. So it does take inclination and weather and various things into consideration. So I'm sure people will be able to get better. Some people find a way to get worse for sure.
Right, just like there were videos that escaped early on when people were driving around in an